everyone. Today we are going to do a yoga for hip mobility. We often neglect just how important the lower body is. It's important to remember that if your hips are mobile and you're really able to dig deep into your hips and all of the muscles surrounding your low body, you will have a better time in your cardio and your strength training. All of these things work together. So I want to take you through a 60-minute practice specifically focused on finding flexibility and mobility in the lower body, specifically the hips and the hamstrings. So if that sounds good for you, I invite you to come with me now. I have a yoga pillow here. I love to sit on this. I invite you to grab a blanket if you're not comfortable sitting on your mat, just as you are. Otherwise, go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. I'm going to slide off my socks here. So, working your way, don't forget to start your watch. Yoga is still a workout. Finding your way into whatever comfortable position just feels good to you. Just breathing, maybe closing your eyes. Taking just a moment to realize how you feel. Grounding into the floor, sitting nice and tall. Breathing in deep. Just noticing. Take an inventory, check in with your body, your mind, your spirit, and your emotion. Bringing your arms, we take an inhale, we just stretch up high as we begin to set our intention, bringing the hands together, drawing them to heart center. And this is where I invite you to set an intention for your practice today. To hold a place for a feeling or for someone. Or maybe you'd like to come with me in an intention that I've written for this practice. I invite you to close your eyes. Just take a deep breath. I give myself permission to feel and exist in my own body as I am. I recognize my strength. I recognize my capability. I release any judgment I'm harboring towards my body. Just breathing that in if that resonates with you. If not, maybe finding something that does resonate with you personally. Noticing your breath. Just bringing your mind to this moment. Not being a memory behind or a moment ahead. As we begin to warm our body, if you are sitting on a yoga pillow or something, go ahead and just toss it to the side. We're just going to come in a seated staff position, okay? Just nice and easy, sending the legs out in front of you, maybe bring the hands down. We're just going to warm up from the bottom of the feet to the top of our head. So, the first thing I want you to do is on an inhale and an exhale, we're just going to point and flex the feet. So really pull the toes up as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, push them away. And you might take this opportunity to also roll the ankles. If you're going to roll the ankles, make sure you roll them in both directions. Just finding some mobility through your roots. As we move up, we move into the wrists. It is so important to warm up your wrists. Most of us have tension from texting or sitting at a computer, maybe carpal tunnel arthritis, anything like that. And you can avoid a lot of tension and a lot of discomfort by warming up the wrist before we get started. So rolling them in one direction, maybe side to side. You can do a come here, go away, pushing in and out. Coming into the shoulders when you feel ready, just rolling them forward. Finding that mobility in the ball and socket joints. Then rolling back. Opening the chest as you push the shoulders down and away. Now with your head, taking an inhale, and as you exhale, just dropping your chin. Inhale, and as you exhale, coming to your side, whichever one you want. You might like to just gently hold. Pulling your ear down to your shoulder. And we come to the other side. So inhale to lift. Exhale, other way. And when you're ready, we are going to start still in our warm-up position. So come onto your knees. I do have my notes here on this paper, so don't mind that. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Knees into the hips, tuck the toes, take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to press right on up into down dog. Now, being mindful of wherever your body is right now, just try to bend your knees a little bit, bend the elbows. And we're just going to start with a walking the dog. So lifting one heel and then the next. Saying hello to your lower body as you try to pull the armpits up and push the chest down into the thighs. As you inhale and exhale, we come back. Inhale, lift the right leg. And as you exhale, we're going to pull through the hands. Come into a low lunge. Now, front knee and ankle are in alignment here. Lifting the eye gaze, you always have the option to drop the back knee if you need to. Taking an inhale here. If you didn't drop the back knee already, go ahead and drop it. And then with an exhale, we're going to push back, lifting the toes, straightening the leg. Coming into a half Hanuman position. Now keeping a gentle bend in this knee. Inhale, maybe lifting all the way up. This might be easier for you. And then exhaling, coming in. Sending a signal to your body to relax. Maybe you can drop into the space. Maybe not. Inhale, we shift back forward, lifting that back leg. And this time we're going to take a step, straightening the front and hopping the back foot in. Coming in to a pyramid pose. Now we're just getting warm here. So just leave your hands here. Inhale, extend the spine. As you exhale, we're just trying to drop the chest, but pull the belly in. Keeping a gentle bend. Be careful with your body. Just starting to feel how you feel in the back of the leg. As you inhale and exhale, this time we'll step the back leg further back, coming back into that low lunge. And then an inhale, circumscripts the arms up overhead into crescent lunge. Now, you can drop the back leg. Okay, so you can come here. This is fine. We're just pushing down through the feet, pulling the front knee forward and the back heel back, and sinking the hips, grounding down. through the bottom of your feet, the Pada Bandha. Now we're not here long. As you exhale, we're going to windmill the hands down. Take a breath here. Look up. And then exhale, we step back to high plank. Drop the knees. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, squeeze the elbows in and lower the chest all the way down. Using your next inhale to roll the shoulders back, lifting the chest to baby cobra. Exhale, we tuck the toes, come up to the knees first, and then back to down dog. Walking your dog if you want it. Just say hello. Coming back to your intention. Inhale, lift the left leg. As you exhale, we step right through. Now, if it doesn't help, or if it doesn't make it, just reach through and help it out. Come down to the knee if you need to. That's okay. But if you want to stay lifted, good place to be. Shifting the eye gaze forward, trying to lift the chest a little off the thigh. Pushing back through the heel of your back leg. Nice and strong. We set that knee down. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to shift the weight back. Lifting the heel. Come on up. Now, pulling your belly in tight. Big inhale, we lift the spine. As we exhale with a gentle bend in the knee, we can start to fold forward. Coming into that half Hanuman position. Just enjoying wherever you are. Feeling your body. How already it feels like things are changing. As you inhale, we shift the weight back forward. You can choose to lift here, right? If you want to go ahead and come there. We're going to straighten the front leg. Hop in just a little bit. Planting the heel on the ground. And lifting up. Now the thing about pyramid pose, exhale, folding in, and we're going to do this more later, but it's that the feet are grounded. And ideally, they're pretty close and aligned together. So they're not really wide. But right now, as you get warm, you just take this for what it is. Wherever you are, even if you just want to bring the hands up to the thigh and come to more of a flat back extend, as long as you're not pushing down into the knee like this, okay, they can be softly on the thigh, that's okay. We bring the hands down, step that foot back. You may choose to drop here if you want. We're really going to sink the hips in as we lift into that crescent lunge. So if you want this option, this is great. Pull the belly in tight, really press the hips forward. If you want to lift all the way up, this is great too. Keeping those fingers open, energy lines, we're moving, letting the energy flow freely from your body to promote liberation and healing. We're going to come back down, coming into that lunge. On the inhale, the exhale steps you back to plank. Drop the knees. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, we come down, all the way down. Inhale, we can lift to baby cobra. And exhale, tuck. And press back to down dog. And you're walking your dog here. Doing whatever feels good to you. Maybe lifting both feet. Bending the knees a lot and just pressing the chest down. Okay? Whatever feels good to you, but I want you to keep breathing as you're moving through the down dog. your down dog, take an inhale and lift the right leg. As you exhale, we're going to shift forward, bringing knee to tricep. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale, back up. This time as you exhale, knee to opposite elbow. We're going to step this foot forward. Now I just realized I'm going to be turning away from you if I do this one, so I'm going to switch the side of my mat actually so that I'm this way, okay? So coming into that low lunge, you step that foot forward. We're going to open right up into warrior two. So you're going to turn your foot down, planting the heel. There's a heel to arch alignment, a bend in the knee, and then we can lift the arms. Just taking a beautiful breath. Okay, now the hips should be square to the front. If you don't quite have that mobility yet, you can wiggle your heel to the edge of your mat to give you a little leverage, right? Otherwise, knee and ankle, you always have the option here to challenge stability in the joints and lift. It's up to you. Taking a big breath in, we lift to peaceful warrior. Really opening, pressing that knee out. Breathing in and out, lifting your toes, but pressing down through the balls of your feet. Pulling your belly in tight. Stay for the inhale. Exhale back to your warrior. This time we're going to inhale up to star pose. Keeping those toes turned out. And exhale, we're going to come to Skandasana. Now this is a variation of Skandasana. We're not all the way on the floor, right? So the toes are pointing up. You're stretching the back of the leg. This knee is pointing out. Breathe. Lifting the toes on the foot that's grounded. Inhale back up. And exhale to warrior two. We're going to follow that for just a few breaths. Inhale up. Exhale. Coming into that Skandasana. Now the toes can be lifted or not. That depends on your mobility. Okay, so I mean if you can keep it down, but it might not feel good to you. So lifting onto the heel, that's my personal favorite. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down to that warrior. Hold here. Checking that alignment again, kicking the heel out. Lifting the arms strong. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And we're going to exhale, extend. So coming into that side angle, maybe you're here. If you can drop down, you're here. This is as low as we're going to come today. So really forcing that hip wide open. Holding here. Now coming into lizard pose. So from here, bringing both hands, cartwheel them down to the inside of that foot. Turning your body back square. So your foot is on the outside. And from here, you might like to drop the knee. Maybe not. Maybe you can start to bend the elbows. Coming down, turning the toes out just a little bit on the foot that's forward. If not, this is a good place to be with the toes out. Knee and ankle still in alignment. Take an inhale. Exhale, we step back and come to bent elbows, chaturanga, knees up or down. Inhale to up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes to down dog. Now, I'm going to hold here while you're breathing in down dog, coming back this way so that I'm still facing you. Inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Inhale, back to three-legged. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to right elbow. We lift back to three-legged. And then bring the foot right through the hand. Now, getting ready to come into warrior two, I'm going to show you an option, okay? So either lift the back leg, plant that heel, and come into this warrior with knee and ankle in alignment. You have a straight line, the hips are forward. If you need less, walk it back just a little bit. Come here. Now, you can take the toes and just come here, okay? You can even move that knee out a little bit. So your knee is going to be as far away from your body as long as this knee and ankle are still in alignment in the front. So this version of warrior two is a little less intense in the hips, but you're still really opening here. So whichever one you're choosing, okay? Take a breath in, and we lift to peaceful warrior. You can do the same thing with that knee down. Okay, hands to thigh if you want, or palm up. Exhale back to warrior two. Now, as we take an inhale, remember we're going to press up, bringing the hands together. Exhale, coming down. Now, naturally, I come all the way down just because that's what I'm used to. So, if you have the mobility on this side, you can come all the way down. You can even put your hands down in front. Okay, but if not, you're here, right? Now, if that knee is bent, so if you're in this version, all you're going to do, so if you're here, you're going to inhale that leg straight, and then exhale, lift the toes, okay? That's your option for Skandasana if you're on the ground. So if this is more accessible to you, beautiful. Otherwise, you've been in Skandasana for just a moment. Inhale back to that star, and exhale to warrior two. Pulling the arms back. You know, you have the option to lift as long as your hips are square. Inhale, drawing the hands down. Exhale. You can drop as low as you want in this, okay? Inhale, we lift. Exhale, back to the warrior two. Really turning that knee out. Pulling the body together. Think about pulling back in your right hip. Right? We want to open. Now, as you inhale, coming into peaceful warrior, one breath, and exhale comes into side angle extended. So, elbow on the thigh, palm open. This is great. If you have the mobility to drop down, opening the chest, this is great too. Whatever you like. Coming into that lizard pose, you're going to windmill that arm down, turn your mat, or turn your body square to your mat, stepping the foot out away from your hands, turning those toes out. You may choose to drop the knee here. Maybe you can stay lifted. It's so many options for you. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you can start to come down. Remembering that intention to let go of any judgment that you're harboring in your body. Each day and each side is different, and it's not up to you to decide if it's good enough. It's not your part to play. You are good enough. You always have been. You always will be. But until you believe that for yourself, nothing's really going to add up to that. Take a breath in, lifting the eye gaze. As you breathe out, we step back to bent elbows, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog, flattening the toes. Exhale to down dog, and you hold here. Maybe walking your dog, doing whatever feels good to you. From your down dog, inhale, we lift the right leg. Exhale, stepping through the hands. Okay? Coming right up into that warrior two. Now, this time, we're going to find a bit of humble warrior. So, from here, the hands will interlace behind the back. And we're just going to pull down. As you pull the hands down for the back bend, you can start to hinge your chest forward. Watch my legs. I'm still open in that warrior two. Okay? Can really drop in here. Taking some breaths. Breathe. Maybe drop a little lower. Inhale, we're going to lift back to warrior two. And now, coming into a really fun variation of that humble warrior that I just love so much. Bring the hands to the hips first. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, pulling the belly in, you're going to fold forward. Now your hands automatically come to the diagonal of your alignment. Now, if this is good for you, you can stay here. If you want something more, take an inhale. As you exhale, walk the hands forward and press the chest down like a down dog. Down warrior. Beautiful variation. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, walk the hands back up. We're going to lift right up into that star pose. Whew. And exhale, we're going to forward fold. So pulling the belly in tight, hinging forward at the hips, both toes this time, pointing forward. We're just going to take a little breath in the side of the body, the side hip. Okay? And you might like to walk your weight onto your toes or your heels. Just see what feels good to you. Now, staying low with the hips. We're going to turn this foot back out and crawl our way into that lizard pose again. So turning, you can drop the knee. Keep those toes out, letting that knee fall open. Now, from here, I am going to give you an option for a corkscrew pose. So, if you want more, we're going to start just by twisting in. Okay, and maybe reaching behind. If you want that corkscrew, bending the knee, finding the foot, and then pushing the body open to the side, open to that thigh. So not only are you opening through the hip here with that front leg, you're stretching the quads. Slowly release. We step back into chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Bending the knees a little bit, bending the elbows. Relaxing the shoulders as you push the chest down. Just breathe here. We've got another side to do. So whatever feels good to you, okay? Inhale, lift the left leg. As you exhale, we're going to step through the hands, plant the heel, and we're coming right up in to that warrior two. Now, the goal is that as we do this, you're finding more and more mobility. Okay, so maybe you can come low. Remember the option to keep the knee down. Right? As you inhale, we're going to bring the hands behind, finding that back bend. And then as we exhale, pulling the belly in tight and folding the chest. You can even bring the arms up. If you want a shoulder stretch, maybe not, just breathe here. Yoga is so beautiful Because no matter where you are, once you come into this pose and you start breathing, it'll work for you. It'll move your energy if you keep your heart open. So pull those shoulders back. Keep opening even though you're folding. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, the hands come to the hips. We're going to start to hinge forward. I'm going to move my notes here. So you're setting your hands down, seeing how you feel, not harboring any tension. Maybe you can walk and press the chest down. Gentle bend in the elbows. Keep pulling this hip back. It wants to roll forward now that you're trying to drop the chest. One more breath. Lift your toes. Lift up. On an inhale, right into that star pose. Don't want that knee. And then as we exhale, turning the toes to the front. And finding that bend here. Beautiful mobility. Just recover, right? Breathe. Check in with your body. How are you feeling? Do you need to do anything? Do you need to let go? Keeping the hips low, take an inhale, and as we exhale, turning that toe back out, we're going to walk to the side into that lizard pose, dropping that knee here, letting those toes be out so that when this hip opens out, you're still in alignment. Coming into that corkscrew pose, if you want it, we twist. Get used to twisting the chest in here, and then you might lift and take hold. Breathing wherever you are. Slowly release. There's one more set of hips for standing. We're going to press right back into down dog. No chaturanga this time. We're just going to breathe here for a minute. Now remember, if you need a little less, you can bring your knees down, toes together, pressing back into Vinyasa. Child's pose. This is always your home base. So if you're ever just needing to take a breath, or something is just a little too intense for you today, come to Vinyasa, reconnect, putting forehead or hands to the thumbs to connect the heart center to the ground. And then you can come back to me, okay? So maybe we all just come here for a minute. If you want to connect your third eye chakra, pressing your hips back. Just breathing. Allowing yourself to exist right where you are. Now, we're going to stretch the right side again, so I'm going to turn back this way. You're going to tuck your toes from this child's pose, bringing the hands and the chest into alignment. Press up. Into the down dog. We lift the right leg. Come forward. Take an inhale, right to crescent lunge. Now, we're going to get a little fun, a little flowy here. So if you can stay up in this crescent lunge, even if you come up so that you're not so low to the ground, that's okay. But I really need you to try to be on your toes for this one. Reaching the fingers, nice and strong. Take an inhale. Now, as you exhale, we're going to turn both toes to the front. Keeping heel in, toes out, and dropping right into a goddess squat. Now, this time, as you breathe in, we're going to sweep the arms up. And breathe out. We're coming crescent lunge on the other side. So you're going to turn your body So you are 180 degrees from where you started. Finding your balance, it's okay if you're a little unsteady. Now we're going to speed it up. Inhale turns you to center. Exhale, come down. Inhale, we lift the arms. And exhale into that crescent lunge, pressing the in ankle in alignment. Inhale to center. Turning heels in, toes out. Exhale, sinking the hips. Inhale, lifting, pivoting the feet. And exhale, finding that squat. Or that crescent lunge, rather. Coming in, taking a breath. We're going to finish in the goddess squat. So turning the feet, bringing the hands. Coming into a wide leg forward fold. Inhale, lift the arms. Turn the toes in. Exhale, swan dive. Putting a gentle bend in the knee. Maybe you'd like to just hook your big toe. Bending the elbows. Shifting the weight slightly forward. And we have 2 more moves to finish out this little part here. So as you inhale, lift your flat back, extend. And as we exhale, we're going to tiptoe the fingers into this low lunge. Now, there are 2 options for you. Okay? The first one is to just step in, do a forward fold. Inhale, we roll up, grounding into that right leg. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we come into a tree pose. Okay? So this is the end goal. It's to end up in tree pose, pressing the hands, pressing the feet down, opening the body. Now here's a fun transition for you while you're breathing in tree. Soften your balance by softening your focus and your breath. From this low lunge, if you want more of a challenge, take a breath in. As you exhale, we can come right into tree. Okay, so it's up to you. Inhale, we're going to lift the hands if you've got it. And maybe an exhale, just pulling the back behind you just a little bit. Slowly unravel. Coming into Tadasana. Palms open. Inhale, lift the arms. And as we exhale, we're going to forward fold. Now I'm going to turn this way. I always want to be opening towards you, not away from you. Okay? So bending the knees if you need to. Pulling the chest in. Shift your weight slightly forward. Toes are together, heels 2 or 3 inches apart. Now from here, we're going to step the right foot back. So we're right into this lunge. Left leg is forward. Inhale, lifting into that crescent. Okay? Splaying the fingers wide. Really lifting that back thigh, trying to be strong. As you inhale, we turn and pivot the feet. Exhale, coming into that goddess squat. You've been here before. Pressing hands together to open the chest and the shoulders. Inhale, lift the arms. Pivot the feet. Exhale, come in to that crescent lunge. Inhale, back. Turning to the front. Exhale, goddess squat. Inhale, lift. then exhale, coming in here. Inhale, back to that front facing knee. Exhale to goddess squat. Maybe dropping lower. And then inhale, lift the arms. Turn the toes in. Pulling the belly into the spine as you exhale, hinge forward at the hip. Hooking the big toes if you want. Bending the elbows to drop you in. Do a forward fold. Inhale, slowly undoing the hands as you exhale, walking your way. Hands around that left leg. Now coming into that tree pose, you might choose to step in, or you can take an inhale, lift the eye gaze. As you exhale, coming right into tree pose. It's okay if you lose your balance, right? It just means you're human. So everyone coming into that standing Tadasana pose, right? Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pressing down through the left foot, the right foot comes up. Now remember, your options here, a kickstand, where the toes are grounded. You can come up onto the shin, or if you have the mobility to press into the thigh, that's great too. Okay? Whatever makes you feel stable here. You've got to breathe. I know sometimes when it gets tough, we just want to stop breathing. We can't do that. Inhale, lift the arms. And if you want it, exhale, tiny little back bend, opening the heart. Slowly, quietly unravel. Now you take time feeling your feet, pressing down into the mat in this Tadasana pose. Inhale, lifting the arms. As you exhale, coming into that forward fold. Now we're going to step right into down dog. So, step 1, 2, and you can just press. Just walking the dog, maybe taking some breaths, relaxing the shoulders. You've been here before. Inhale this time, lift the toes, bend the knees, look up forward at your hands. And as you exhale, we're going to jump the feet wide, coming right into Malasana, Hindi squat. Now, if you don't have the mobility to do this, to come here, that's okay. Your feet are nice and wide. I want the heels to be down. So if you're having trouble with that, grab a blanket. Put them under your heels for a little more comfort. Okay, with the hands in heart center, you might choose to stop here with the hands on the arms on the thighs. Okay, and try lifting your spine. This is okay. And eventually you'll be able to drop your hips down, pressing the elbows wide. Now we've got a little bit of a breath combo here. So this is the exhale. As you inhale, we're going to circumsweep the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, drawing the fingers down through the midline, coming back into Malasana. Pressing wide. Inhale, sweep the arms up. So the goal is, relax the shoulders, exhale, coming down, that you're able to drop a little lower, lengthen the spine a little longer with each breath. There's one more. Inhale, lift. As you exhale, coming into that Hindi squat. Now we're going to hold here for just a minute. So find whatever part of this is comfortable for you. Bringing your hands down. We have a good opportunity here with the feet nice and wide. You're going to turn the toes in, coming into Padangusthasana. First, we're just going to slide the fingertips under the toes. Okay? Inhale, lift here. Pulling the shoulders back, nice flat back extend. And then as you exhale, folding forward. Don't lock out the knees. Slowly release the fingers. Bringing the hands down. We're going to step back into down dog. So step one, step two. Inhale, lift the right leg, and as you exhale, you're going to bring it forward. Now we're working our way into pigeon pose. So with this front leg 90-90, you might like to just bring the back leg 90-90 also, right? If you are a beginning yogi, or if your hips are really feeling tight, this is where you want to come, okay? So that you can stretch without compromising any of your joints. Now, if you have the ability to lift up, rolling off that knee, coming up here, lifting the chest proud, and then as you exhale, we're just going to forward fold. So pull the belly in wherever you are, coming down into your space. Not harboring any tension in your body. You can play with the arms, maybe bring them out to the side or come with me for the hands behind. That's up to you. It's perfectly okay to be on your forearms. Just breathing wherever you are. Without harboring tension. Without feeling any type of negativity towards your body. Maybe you can start to walk that ankle towards the arms a little more. Keep pushing the left hip down as you roll the right side back. Bringing the hands underneath, pressing back up on an inhale. We're just going to tuck the toes on the back foot. Step back into down dog, and then we switch sides. So this time the left leg comes forward. Now, coming carefully in to the pigeon pose on the other side. We stretched one, we always need to do the other. You can set up in this 90-90 degrees. Okay, like I said earlier, great option if you're just working on mobility. Okay, if you can, use the toes on that back leg to roll you off the knee joint. Then maybe you can lift nice and tall here. We want to keep the spine long, even as we exhale and fold forward. Just taking some time to breathe here. We're here for a few rounds of breath. So however you're feeling, just let it exist. Bringing your mind back to your intention just to be here. Maybe you can and start to move this ankle. Breathing in and out through the nose. Finding stillness in your body. As you inhale, we bring the hands down, pressing up. Tucking the toes on the back foot. Coming back into that down dog. Bend the knees. We're going to jump forward, back into that Hindi squat. So heels down. Remember your option. From here, we're just going to bring the hands behind and have a seat. Now from this seated staff position, bringing your right leg in. We're going to connect the heel to the inside of the thigh. Now, if you have tightness in your knee, if you have any knee issues at all, walking your foot down closer to the other ankle might be more beneficial for you. We want to try to open the hips. Taking a breath in, pulling the toe back, and then as you exhale, coming into your forward fold. Keeping a nice straight leg. Inhale, lifting the spine, and as you exhale, keeping the spine long, but coming down in. Pulling the belly into the spine to give the internal organs just a gentle little massage. Taking a breath in, we're going to lift back up. Your right hand comes behind the right hip as we come into a stargazer pose. Inhale, and as you exhale, we press up and reach behind. Really trying to open to heart center. Slowly lower down. We're just going to switch sides. So extending the right leg. Grounded through the sits bones. Bringing the left leg in. Inhale, we lift. And as we exhale, we fold in. Pulling those toes up. Bending the elbows to give your shoulders just a little bit of a release. Each exhale bringing you a little closer to your mat. As you inhale, we lift up, the left hand comes behind, and exhale, pressing and opening to stargazer. Quietly coming down, we're going to roll onto the back. A few poses here. So coming onto your back. Letting your toes come together and letting the knees fall open into a reverse butterfly position. Maybe coming up and binding at the elbows if you want. Just breathing here. Bringing the legs together, unwinding the arms. One more opportunity to show some love to the back of the legs. We're going to first come into happy baby. So, using the hands to push the knees into the armpits, dropping them down by the ribs, keeping the spine long. You can stay here. If you have mobility and you really want to stretch through the abductor, and also in the back of the legs, you can peace sign the fingers to hook your big toe. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're just going to extend the legs wide, leading with the heels. Allowing yourself to be open and vulnerable here. Relaxing your shoulders. You can come back to happy baby when you're ready. And just for a little release, we're going to rock our happy baby by extending one leg long and then the next. So as you extend, you feel rocking side to side. This is a great thing to do, especially if you sit a lot or you have any tension in your lower back. I love this one. Coming back to center, bringing the heels, the soles of the feet to touch. Just hold here for a sec, maybe pulling the feet closer to your chest if you can. Before gently releasing, coming into Savasana, lying on your back. Letting your toes fall open, your arms beside you. Returning your body and your mind back to your intention of the class. As you feel the rise and the fall of your belly. Becoming like a spectator to your thoughts. As the belly rises and falls. Keeping your eyes closed, I'd like to share a poem with you. One that really changed my life a few years ago. And I mean that quite literally. So as you lie here, just listen. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you'll risk looking like a fool for love, for your dreams, for the adventures of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have become open by life's betrayals, or if you've become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you, the tips of your fingers and your toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can be true to yourself and disappoint another. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not present every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours or mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after a night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me to know who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where, what, or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly enjoy the company you keep in the empty moments. Taking a deep breath in. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching long to one side. Or curl up as if you're lying comfortably in your own bed. And when you're ready, there is no rush. A gentle exhale and a press of your hand will bring you back into a seated position. Sitting nice and tall, feeling grounded and open. Our final inhale together, sweeping the arms overhead. Grasping all of the things that are good and meant for you, pulling them down to carefully connect mind and body. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I hope that you enjoyed it wherever you are. Please let me know how you feel. Let me know your thoughts. You guys are awesome. I'll see you next time.